Okay, item number 7, we have a delegation here I'd like for everybody to recognize. Mr. Wayne Holland, Mr. Joe Shoemaker, Gene Lanham, and Mr. Allen Tatum. We have some good support going on with the Gravel Switch Fire Department. And as you are aware, there's been a little change in some administration, leadership out of the Gravel Switch Fire Department. These gentlemen have been meeting regularly. I know we met March 22nd. Y'all are back again March 28th. We've been up there, we've done inventory. And I guess what you all have in your package is a resolution that basically acknowledges the Gravel Switch Auxiliary Advisory Board as the liaison between Gravel Switch Fire Department and Fiscal Court. County Attorney Joe Magny looked this over and he said he didn't see any problem with it. Did you all have a chance to read it and see what it says? You know, I know that over time you got to develop a relationship with the fire department. That just kind of went away during the last few years. We did a little research on the Gravel Switch Community Club that supports the fire department. It was founded in 1979. And it's been active and dissolved and for the most part continues to exist, but the affiliation between that original founding group that incorporated as a support group with the fire department has, you know, it's kind of lost more of the affiliation that it used to have. Pat Hergen stayed the official point of contact for several years. And I guess just recently, back in February, it was reinstated. It was administratively dissolved. If you don't file your annual report, the state will dissolve it. And now they've got a $150 reinstatement fee. It used to just be real simple. $4 a year to send in your paperwork and renew. And now they, I guess, are short on revenue, so they've made it $15 to renew and $100 if you've got a lapse and have to get reinstated. So it's better off to pay your $15 renewal fee and not have to go through that more expensive. You know, that's the Gravel Switch Community Club that supports the fire department. But you all as the advisory board, first of all, I want to thank you for your service and your dedication and commitment, because I know the fire department needs it and appreciates it, and you all, I think, have given the fire department some much needed, you know, physical support and kind of giving them a little bit of the expectation that the community wants to be a part of the fire department, wants to be in the fire department. Some have access just to, you know, be able to help them when they need it. That kind of relationship needs to kind of be cultivated. So I think you're on the right track for sure.
You know, Judge, real quick, and I know most mothers feels the same way as because we're both on the Emergency Services Committee. In all sincerity, you guys are the glue that's got this back together and moving forward. And without you guys, and I know there's a few of you not here today, but I really want to stress the importance of what you're doing and the appreciation, because what you're doing is a great thing, and we needed that help. I mean, I say we, I mean us as a court, as a local government, and the community of Gravel Switch. And I hope you notice how serious we are as a court when you look at this resolution, especially the last paragraph, you know, where it states that Marion County Fiscal Court wishes to recognize the Gravel Switch Auxiliary Advisory Board as the liaison between the Gravel Switch community, the Gravel Switch Fire Department, and the chief liaison with Marion County Fiscal Court on all matters. Okay? It doesn't pick one or two or three or four. It says on all matters with the operation, recommendation, concern, needs of the Gravel Switch Fire Department from this point forward. So what we're saying is that you are eyes and ears. You are our representation in Gravel Switch in regards to the Gravel Switch Volunteer Fire Department. So we're here to support you in any manner we can. Okay, you know, certain things we can do, certain things we can't do. But if you need assistance or you need help, that's what we're here for. Okay, and I know one of the questions that I spoke to Mr. Shoemaker and so forth about is in regards to developing some bylaws. Okay, and while I've got her here and I can put her on the spot, I would like to ask Ms. Natalie Martin, if she would be willing to work with the advisory board to, I guess, to develop an incorporation or get their incorporation papers set up where the bylaws review these specific items, such as their
As long as it
responsibilities.
wouldn't be a conflict with county attorney, that would be the only issue, is if it was an issue that they're the auxiliary board working with you, that might be an issue that we might not be able to address it.
But I'm
if
sure
that's
you can look
not,
at
we
that.
could look at it.
I'm sure you can look at that and figure it out.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to give them your cell number now?
They know where to find it.
There you go. Thank you, Lisa, I appreciate that.
Hey, thank y'all
Thank you
for,
guys so much.
thank y'all for all you do.
You're doing a great job.
Absolutely.
Do y'all have any questions or?
Well, just a comment, if I may.
Yes, sir.
Of course, Solomon Cotton and John Arthur and Mr. Ritter all realize the commitment that the fire department got. And we appreciate your all support and guidance. We were sitting there as a community with no authority whatsoever. We could make recommendations, but without, some authority. And I think this document will set the guidelines for what, not necessarily authority, but some responsibility that we have. And again, fiscal court, especially John and Cotton and Mr. Wicker, they've been their hands-on, and we will do our best, I'm sure, I can speak for myself, to keep the fire department there, and we appreciate your all's interest and input in it.
Your heart's.
We appreciate you all.
That's right, your heart's in the right place and you're doing the right thing, so we appreciate what y'all are doing.
The only thing in there,
Again, Ms. Martin, there are some bylaws or some documents that I'm sure we'll have some more rough times from here on out. And if we have something to fall back on, this is what the Bible says.
Right.
That agreement is a whole lot of that, I think, Gene. Actually, what is it, is the liaison between the two parties? That goes a long way,
Pretty strong,
right?
and to get across to somebody might think a little different.
Well, and the bottom line is that you do meet, because that's part of the problem, is that there aren't guidelines, so there aren't regulations per se, and there isn't the Bible per se to follow. And you're exactly right, that's what you need. But outside looking in, I think the judge made a good interlude here on the resolution. Those bylaws need to incorporate both the advisory board and the fire department together as one, okay? In other words, that you're working together, and the responsibilities and the abilities of each. So as you say, there's no question. And you either go by the rules, or you don't go. So you get on the train, or you get off. So, well, we want to thank you for being on the train with us.
Were there bylaws being used prior to this?
Yes, and actually, I saw a copy of some bylaws, and I will say this, to my knowledge, there are some bylaws in place, but those bylaws that's, I think what happened there, I'm just speaking my personal opinion, I think what happened there was that when it was incorporated the last time, that it was just trying to get incorporated so it could, get it incorporated and try to move it forward and so forth. And it looked like they took another fire department from outside this county's information and kind of utilized it. And it talks about things like confined rescue and things that pertain to that. But the fact is, it doesn't give you any order or regulation in regards to training, certification, what's required, what's expected of you, responsibilities. So
it makes no mention of the role of a community or auxiliary committee.
That's correct.
It's just strictly for the fire department itself. So what we're talking about here is police sheet paper.
That's
We're
right.
going to incorporate and go to one set of bylaws, one size fits all, so to speak.
That's exactly right. Perfect.
That's a bigger fight than what we had, initially we were headed down the traditional way. We just needed basic bylaws for the auxiliary committee, but with this document, I think now it does say the document says we need to have one set of bylaws, guidelines, and operating procedures for the fire department /
That's correct. You know,
Is that correct?
Yes,
That's right.
yes, and technically, correct if I'm wrong, Judge and Court, but I think the simple view of it is that it does need to be together, and I guess you look, the way I see it, or see it moving forward, is that you've got the advisory board, which is per se the administration and takes care of the, you know, the overseeing of the operations, making sure that certifications, just doing the standard operational administration process. And the firefighters, they go fight fire, okay? So you guys are good, my view is you guys manage the budget, you take care of the money, you take over, you know, if they need something, you review it, you move, you know, if it, you know, that's your job. From certifications, make sure they, you know, you stay in line with the State Fire Commission and so forth. Their job is to get trained and to fight fires.
Yeah. But there is a membership allocation here for two people on the fire department personnel to be on this committee. So
That's correct.
That in itself over time, I think, will help to blur the lines of who's on first and who's on second.
There you go, that's right.
The original intent of the advisory committee, the community advisory committee, was that it needed to represent the community. It was not a fire department committee with two community members on it. It was a community committee with two delegates or representatives of the fire department that would be the direct link and liaison with the community. So there is that two-way communication. I guess says that, you know, we'd like to have a report from you all at least annually. We don't want to be an extra burden. You all are already meeting regularly in an advisory capacity with the community group, and you all determine your schedule on that. You know, the agenda, the sample that we talked about on March 22nd, which is the kind of the template and framework to get you started. The little sample bylaws that I kind of gave you out there on that same day were just a rough starting point for you all to evolve into whatever you wanted to incorporate into it. This does give you all more structure and more power. In other words, as the liaison, if you see a problem, we want to hear it. We want you all to be able to tell us about it. And that's basically what, because it's not attached to the city out there. It's attached to you all.
So I guess, if you hear of a problem, we'd like you to contact the committee.
Well, I think that now the structure.
Amen.
Well, being the liaison, that's probably what's gonna go, okay? It should go there first.
We as a court didn't want to try to micromanage that fire department, and you all probably don't want to try necessarily do fire department regulations and firefighting. I know some of y'all have firefighting experience, but you know, you all want to do more advisory. And the fire department, once they get back on the right track, the fire department wise can manage their own firefighting strategies and that part of their purpose. So you are just an assistant to be able to do that. Does that make sense?
Yeah, you all are the glue holding it together.
That's right. We're all in the same church and the same pew, so let's move forward.
Yes, sir. Entertain a
Motion to pass the resolution memorandum of agreement.
Mr. Smothers? Mr. Matheson? Mr. Ellis?
Yes.
Mr. Wicker? Mr. Caldwell? Unanimous.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you all, and we do have a meeting scheduled for next Thursday night, and if or anybody else, feel free to find it anytime.
Next Thursday?
Next Thursday night, I believe that's right.
7.
Firehouse.
And definitely, we will be needing your all's advice and education.
Thank you. Do you have a question, Mr. Kilken?
No, I was just, Wayne and I were talking about the invitation to you guys.
Mr. Holland, thank you. I know you've been there from day one. It means the world. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I spoke to Marion, talked to you about the issue out there. You and I spoke about the issue out there a time or two, and I'm aware of it. I'm glad it's getting resolved and moving on. Needed to.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you very much.
If we can be excused, we got to do.
There you go, that's right. Thank you, guys.
You guys take care. Hey, Wayne? Who's coming up with that?
Okay, item number 8, the department reports. Y'all got Tommy's report, and I think he maybe wants to have a little approval item on the culvert list that he's got in here.
Most approval culverts. It's 18,000, right? 18,300.
1968, 67, when they're 18.
Still one behind, oh, yeah, okay. Nice, I'm sorry.
Mr. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Cole?
Yes.
Mr. Elder?
Yes.
Mr. Wicker?
Yes.
Mr. Mathews? Unanimous.
I did get my computer,
Did you figure it out?
everything working yesterday evening. I hope it stays that way.
I bet you do.
Other than my training, my cell phone, moving around a little difficult compared to what it used to be. But all of our programs are there and nothing seems to be lost. Everything's working, even the sign machine, we got it working yesterday.
Good deal.
I'm glad that's over. But we just need to get started putting culverts in, and we got to work on Scuffle Creek. Blacktop before you know it, so it'll be a busy season, I'm sure. At least we've been fortunate on the rain, storm.
So long.
Good year so far.
It's been 2 good hailstorms.
Yeah, that's what they say.
Thank you.
This is kind of a follow-up. Tommy did make that correction on the flex list, and I put a copy down the desk to show what that kind of list does look like. You got anything else, Tom?
No, sir. I'll have your next list, the discretionary list, by the next meeting.
Thanks, Tom.
Thank you.
Okay, Keith, you had an outstanding report. Your entire amnesty ad and so forth was in there. It's like a lot of information.
Good report.
Do you have any questions for Keith, or do you have anything?
Good job on Mr. Manley and Mr.
Do we have to do anything on this
For
order?
getting all this Brookhaven taken care of. Thank you.
Yeah, I got one quick question. Is your map sync thing working out now?
Better. Still got some bugs in it. We're actually the pilot of pilots.
Jeez, Pete.
You know, it really is. And, but it is leveling out. We're getting friendly with it. We lost probably a month total. But I tell you what Sharon and I have been doing. We've been going out and continuing to make lists. We go ahead and make the new addresses. We go ahead and do the address changes on paper. And then when we get our ordinance, it'll be an office thing, sending it out. Mr. Wicker, you asked me the other day, kind of privately, how many people in this county potentially are we going to have to change their address? It's really difficult to know that, but there's 8,400 plus address points in the county. Sharon and I have kind of put a 7% figure on it, maybe, of the 8,400. We're talking about 500 or 600 people potentially in the county.
They're not gonna like it, but it's gonna be done.
It's a headache to change the address.
A lot of them will be entire roads. An example of that, and I'll give you one road as an example we did this week. I believe it's in your district, Settles Hollow Road.
Yes, sir.
It's down in Jessietown.
Yes, sir.
And it's a road that goes way back in and it's got probably 8 or 9 address points back in there. Everybody's mailbox is out on Highway 412. They have 412 addresses. Well, according to the E911, they're gonna be required to have a Settles Hollow Road address. Well, we've already given everybody on that road an address.
How can they, that being a private road, can they address them off of a private road?
Well, we take over the road for E911 purposes, just like we do all the other roads. We don't maintain it at all.
But the mailboxes still stay out?
No, that'll kind of be an elected thing for the post office, whether they'll deliver that road or not.
That's what I mean.
If they don't deliver,
If they don't deliver, they'll have to leave.
can they put a sign in their yard?
That's what they'll probably be required to do. If the mailbox continues to set on Highway 412, because the post office will not deliver the road, then the 911 ordinance would require those people to put a sign in their yard with their house number on the post.
I think it goes back to that idea we were talking about, those fiber bright panels with the numbered letters that would be either on a gate post or on a post at the point of entrance you know, that the fire departments might put up. Get a little more definition on the cost of those, you know, looks like probably for the boards themselves, somewhere in the 15 to 17,000 letters, looks like around 12 to 15. So for about 30,000 or a little better, those signs could be available countywide. And that might be something we could do with LGEA money. I think I've actually got it tentatively placed in the budget, and the numbers are coming together. Matt Newcomb gave me a price the other day. He wasn't as cheap as I was hoping it's going to be, but you know, the numbers, we can get a couple different sources for fire department application if that's the route we decide ultimately to go. And it would give a good uniform, even if not everybody could put them up. The fire department was to get the letters and numbers for nothing. Let's say the court provided each fire department with 1,500 of these signboards. You know, so you got 7,500 of them put up in 5 different fire districts. Well, they could potentially put them up and make $15,000. They charge 10 bucks a board as a service or whatever, you know, and it would be a consistent, uniform numbering system, pretty countywide. Now, out at Rosewood, they're not going to put those nice green reflective boards up in the front yard, but and there's a set of bid restrictions and other things that are going to limit where they will go. And I understand that. Just like the ones of us following, got their nice little house doors out on a wrought iron.
I like them, they're nice.
Surely they pay, residents pay $10 to get E911 service.
Well, and I think the majority of people out in the county wouldn't have a problem with that visible green placard number on a mailbox or at a stake or something to make it where it was findable. And that's the cases where you're talking about where all those clustered mailboxes. I gave Tony Young a copy of this draft ordinance, if you all got a copy. And those private roads, post office, if they're not delivering it back there now, with the way they're skinning down routes and cutting costs.
They're not going to take it on.
Probably not going to add additional.
Especially if it's a private.
We may be required to name them and the letter and the address off of them, but you know, unless they're already doing it, then we're probably not going to.
I know
I'm
another,
assuming once these signs and posts go up, there'll be the landowner's responsibility to maintain these signs,
Replace them or something.
replace or whatever.
Well-
We don't want to get into that surely.
no, actually, I think what'll have to happen is that we'll have to pass an ordinance and statement of what's required and so forth and address issues such as that. And I know other counties, that's what they have to do. And I know in some other counties, what they've done is that they have offered, for example, they've given it, they advertised in the, you know, whether it be the local television, local paper, radio, and so forth, that for the first 30 days, you can stop by a central point, let's say the EMS or wherever, but a central point, and you can pick up your sign at no charge. It's free, but you've got 30 days to do that. After that, of course, the ordinance, you know, kicks in, and then you're required, and then, you know, want to be put in. So I agree with you, Judge. I think that, you know, we need to try to help out as much and try to lessen the pain as we move forward as much as possible. But the final resolution of having enhanced 911 for our citizens and for our emergency services far outweighs any of the, you know, short-term pain.
How much would it cost for us to get a lettering machine?
I have no idea.
Yours work right now, right? Won't yours work right now?
Yeah.
Well, you don't have time to crank out 48,000.
You sure? I mean,
I wouldn't have a sign machine probably. It's already 10 years old.
Yeah. But those things.
Are they expensive, really expensive?
That was a package deal when we bought it. It seemed like it was about $4,500.
Is that the one we're gonna have to eventually change to go to the bigger letters eventually?
Yeah, well, actually, he says that machine will still work with the old letters, but it's going to double the cost of the sign.
Oh, okay, you something good.
Yeah, I talked to him about it when we were transferring the programs this week.
you know,
It's just going to increase the cost.
Master Wicker brings a good point up, though. I mean, you know, it might be something to look into and see what the cost of that is.
I mean, you buy all those plates in bulk, they don't cost it.
And if need be, maybe there's you know, some high school students or college students that, you know, might want to work on a part-time basis and a little extra money to, you know, to do it or whatever.
I'll
But
make it a
I think
fundraiser for one of the groups.
that's a great idea.
Sure,
There you go.
They're wanting all this money, they can have a
That's
fundraiser.
Now, football might do it, or baseball, I mean, that's a great idea. But I agree with Mr. Wicker on
Yeah,
that.
if that place there put up fences, okay, they put a post up.
That is true.
You know, those are some things we might work out in budget costs for what we might be able to fund or provide.